I'm going to bug you one more time. Go talk to Ryan. Hello? Did you walk away from your computer? Mother.
Oh. All right. Hello?
He's grabbing a drink. Hi.
Oh. Listen.
I'm here to bully you.
I'll talk to him when he comes back.
Listen. No. You're okay, did you see that he unveiled who end wokeness is today? He's literally like been talking about this your like massive conspiracy theory for like weeks now. And you shouldn't wait until August 1st because the content is hot right now. And last time I made a major recommendation like this, you're like, oh no, I don't like political like predictors, which is not true. And also you're go talk to Ryan Macbeth. He's free until 10.
Okay, I'll get right on that.
No, go talk to him. I'm so mad at you.
Good.
Just so you know, I'm being a better content brain person than you are right now. And I'm not even a content brain person.
True.
Why don't you want to talk to him tonight? You just don't want the bad audio? Is it literally just that?
I just want to, my brain right now is more oriented towards writing this. I've been complaining about the Russians for days. There's nothing more to be gained from complaining about it more. There's just nothing. What?
You can learn more. He can tell you the telltale signs of when things are bots or not. You just have speculations. He's been like,
sure, but there's like no, there's like, what is there to gain right now from this?
What? Are you on crack? You could ask him how he discovers. How did he figure out end of wokeness? Is that Justin, whatever the fuck
he went through it in his YouTube
right
video. I don't have to ask him. He went through the process. Did you? Oh, somebody didn't watch the video. Wow, nice. And you're telling me to talk to him. Wow.
Wait, this is about me watching or not watching? Is the fact that it's so obvious what you can talk about that it makes me want to slam my head on my fucking dashboard right now.
Base.
I'm in the car yelling at you to do content. Please, God.
Okay, all right, I'll call him.
I don't believe you. That's like, are you also doing like the 1,000-yard stare where you're basically not actually engaging with me?
I
can't see you. So
I'll add him on Discord. I got it.
I already added you guys to a group, so you can even just
that
go.
Doesn't even. That's not adding Sonya on Discord, but thank you, Boomer.
You are already friends on Discord. I checked. Nice try.
Then what? Wait. Then why did you add us to a group?
So that you guys could call directly in there, so that people weren't just jumping in while you were talking to Ryan Macbeth. And
you can just like call people. You don't have to be in groups to call people, right?
Yes, but I wanted to make sure it happened.
Okay.
I put social pressure on you by putting you in a group with them.
Okay, got it. I'm on it.
Okay. I'll be so mad at you if you don't do it tonight. Also, it's good for rapport building with Ryan Macbeth. He would appreciate it, and it's a good thing to do to build your friendly acquaintance. Okay? Rapport.
Sure, I would just rather do it when I'm like more in the zone to like harp on that and talk about that and do some reading on that, because right now the conversation is worthless. It's going to be me asking questions and not understanding anything, rather than having like a stronger like factual foundation of which to approach. Be like, oh hey, what about this and that and that and that? Like I just can't engage with the conversation. It's going to be me asking questions and then staring in the camera while he explains things for 20 minutes, and then I'll ask a question to poke and prod every now and then, and that's about it. That's like the extent of my engagement right now.
Okay. Acting first.
Nice. Base. Nice lag.
People into
Good
the
job.
entire
Nice.
basis of our podcast together. You dumb motherfucker. Obviously, people would be interested. And you ask interesting questions, and you already have a bit of a basis for what you're talking about, and talking to him would probably help you streamline your process in trying to research this.
I'm not even researching it right now, though.
So
That's the thing. No, you're not right at all. This isn't a topic that I'm researching right now. It's another pivot on some shit that I shouldn't even be wasting time on, that I already wasted 3 days on, that I shouldn't be.
You should be. It's interesting.
It's not the assignment in front of me right now.
There is no assignment. It's all arbitrary. You're just making shit up. It's interesting content. Anyways, fuck you. Go do it.
Be careful.
But also, I'm so right. Holy crap, I destroyed you so hard. Okay, bye.
Nice phone. Okay, I'll call him as soon as he's at his hotel or whatever. Okay. I think I'm trying to move sequentially through time here. We've got undermining the electoral process. We've got 2012, 2016, 2020. These are claims that the election wouldn't work. Is this appropriate to have here in terms of laying out Oh, dude, I had a separate section on mail-in ballots and accusations of rule changes. Do I need to dive into this? I feel like these are breaking down like individual state level cases. I don't think this is worth. Wait. I need music. Wait, hold on. Fox took down their VOD of the day the shooting happened. Based. Wow, Ricardo, thanks for the 10 gifted subs, buddy. If you looked at lawfare recently, I feel like there's a large intersection of research between you and them. I haven't seen evidence. They are unreliable. Who is law? Like the term lawfare? Is that like a YouTube channel? It's a legal blog. Hi. Thank you, sir. Has anything been posted here that like disagrees with any big claim that I've made? I don't know. I don't care. It's not relevant right now. Okay. We don't need a separate thing for these. Mail-in ballots, accusations of rule changes, Dominion voting machine. It might be worth including something on the Dominion voting machine stuff. Thank you, sir. Ryan is literally in a shuttle. He says, I'm in a hotel shuttle. He has to get to his room, okay? Is there like any public filings for like the complaint or anything, or? Oh my God. What? Oh, is this the case or the complaint? It was just a complaint, right? It never got to, like, the trial didn't actually start for this, right? The fuck? Jesus. Okay. Full summary, judgment decision PDF from Dominion. Summary judgment. This isn't going to include like the initial complaint, right? Or any other motions that were filed. I feel like I probably want to read the initial complaint by. This will probably incorporate a lot of the complaint, I imagine, right? Let's see. Dominion Voting Systems versus Fox News Network. The U.S. defamation suit filed in 2021. Also, this summary judgment isn't going to include any of the pretrial discovery, right? That ended up getting leaked. Fuck me, hold on. Okay. Dominion focused on allegations made between November 2020 and January 2021 by host Maria Bartiromo, Tucker Carlson. I don't even know some of these people. And Janine Pirro, okay, guess who appeared, blah, 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 blah. During pre-trial discovery, in a summary judgment, blah, blah, blah. Ruled that none of the disputed statements Fox News made about Dominion were true and ordered a trial to determine if the network had acted with actual malice. Oh, so it was a partial summary judgment. Would that be a summary judgment? Wouldn't it just be a several prominent Fox News personalities, senior execs were expected to testify at trial? So, none of them were true. Summary. What is summary judgment? Oh, wait. Summary judgment means that the facts aren't disputed. And Fox News, it sounds like they didn't argue that the facts were in dispute. They were going to defend themselves by saying that it was an opinion. And so they have to hold a trial to see if they acted with actual malice, right? Okay. I think, if I'm understanding that correctly. Okay, his opening statements were about to begin. The judge announced that the parties had reached a settlement. Fox News agreed to pay $787.5 million and acknowledged the court's earlier ruling that Fox had broadcasted false statements about Dominion. The settlement did not require Fox News to apologize. It was the largest known media settlement for defamation in U.S. history. Damn. December 2020, Smartmatic sent a letter to Fox News demanding retractions and threatening legal action, specifying that retractions must be published on multiple occasions so as to match the attention and audience targeted with the original defamatory publications. Days later, each of the 3 programs aired the same 3-minute video segment consisting of an interview with an election technology expert who refuted the allegations promoted by the hosts, responding to questions from an unseen and unidentified man. None of the 3 hosts personally issued retractions. Smartmatic filed a $2.7 billion defamation suit against the network. The 3 hosts, Trump campaign attorney Sidney Powell and Trump personal attorney Rudy Giuliani, in February 2021. In April 2021, court brief seeking dismissal of the suit, Fox attorney Paul Clement argued that the network was simply reporting allegations made by a sitting president and his lawyers. The Smartmatic's lawsuit accusing Fox of defamation is still pending as of September 2023. Months old, okay. Filing. In December 2020, Dominion sent a similar letter demanding retractions to Trump attorney Sidney Powell, who had promoted the allegations of Fox programs. Then they filed a big lawsuit. Then Fox filed a motion to dismiss, asserting a First Amendment right to inform the public about newsworthy allegations. The motion to dismiss was denied on December 16, 2021 by Davis. Dominion focused on these allegations made. Guess who appeared? They tried to dismiss again. Motion denied. Davis ruled that Fox Corporation Chairman Rupert Murdoch and CEO Lachlan Murdoch may have acted with actual malice because there was a reasonable inference they either knew Dominion had not manipulated the election or at least recklessly disregarded the truth when they allegedly caused Fox News to propagate its claims about Dominion. He noted a report that Rupert Murdoch spoke with Trump a few days after the election and informed him that he had lost. Oof. Is there like a repository of all the discovery that was leaked for this court case? Well, I shouldn't say court case. This suit, I guess, civil suit. $443-page complaint with tons of exhibits and evidence. Oh, shit. Jesus, complaint. Oh my God. Fuck. I don't have time. I bet this whole complaint is a really good read because this whole complaint lays out like this is like, if you want to talk about a deep state, right? This complaint lays out a good argument for it. On November 12th, just in the one paragraph that I read, on November 12th, President Trump sent a flurry of tweets. Wait, hold on. This is fucking retards. Okay. You guys should just post that comment to him over and over and over again on all of his tweets and in all of his YouTube videos. Fuck him. Delete a tweet due to the withering response. Okay, sorry. Where were we? The night of November 9th, President Trump tweeted a series of stories from Fox rival Newsmax related to false claims of election fraud. Later that night at 12:18 a.m. on November 10th, President Trump tweeted a story from Breitbart News entitled Brett Baer, deletes tweet that exposed exploding backlash against Fox News. This story explained that Fox's Brett Baer had to delete a tweet due to the withering responses the innocuous tweet had received. The story led with the observation that the backlash against the disgraced cable news network has exploded. As Breitbart explained, the deletion is just more proof that Fox News is in real trouble and feels besieged. The backlash is so fierce, so grassroots, so overwhelming. Bayer is forced to wishcast it all away with the cowardly deletion of a tweet, as though that somehow means it didn't happen. On November 12th, President Trump sent a flurry of tweets vilifying Fox and encouraging viewers to switch to other networks. After a morning segment aired on Fox's America's Newsroom, concluding that nothing filed, any challenge so far appears likely to overturn the results in any state, President Trump tweeted at Fox News, "Daytime ratings have completely collapsed. Weekend daytime even worse. Very sad to watch this happen, but they forgot what made them successful, what got them there. They forgot the golden goose. The biggest difference between the 2016 election and 2020 was at Fox News." President Trump also declared, tweet, hashtag Fox News is dead. Oh, he retweeted. Fox understood the critical importance of maintaining the support and endorsement of President Trump. President Trump had made clear that he expected networks he viewed as favorable to him to embrace the false election fraud narrative. Fox was well aware of the ramifications of what could occur if it lost President Trump's support. Indeed, Fox had seen the vilification of its own on-air personalities when President Trump attacked them. Just as a heads up, as I'm reading this, this is just the complaint by the plaintiff, Dominion. So everything in here isn't necessarily true or necessarily fact. This is just the story that they're writing for their complaint. And how true or untrue it is, ideally is resolved in court. However, Fox settled, so. Okay, I'm going to eat this real quick. Hold on. Is there like a recap of all this or no? Wouldn't the summary judgment mean that none of these facts were disputed in the complaint? Maybe. But it said summary judgment in part, so there might have been some facts that weren't relevant to the case going forward or relevant to the summary judgment. Maybe. "60 Minutes did a piece on it. Do you think I'll get copyright hit for this?
It was just days after the 2020 presidential election that lawyers supporting then-President Donald Trump began spreading unsubstantiated claims that an American company, Dominion Voting Systems, had rigged the election. They said Dominion was backed by Venezuela and that its machines and software switched millions of votes from Donald Trump to Joe Biden. They never showed any evidence, but that didn't stop pro-Trump attorneys from making baseless claims or conservative news networks from giving them plenty of airtime. Dominion has filed 8 lawsuits seeking more than $10 billion in damages against Fox News and other networks, corporations, and individuals. But Dominion CEO John Poulos has remained largely silent until now. We spoke with him about the lawsuits, the lies, and the irreparable damage he says they've caused to his company and his employees.
The story will continue in a moment.
People have been put into danger. Their families have been put into danger. Their lives have been upended, and all because of lies. It was a very clear calculation that they knew there were lies, and they were repeating them and endorsing them.
It's important to you, people admit what they said was wrong.
Jesus Christ. Okay. You should include Trump's policy agenda in your manifesto. I'm good. Thank you for the $50, though. Agenda 47. Gotcha. Look it up. Agenda 47. Okay.
Wrong.
It's important to me. It's important to...
No.
It was just days after the 2020
And all because of lies. It was a very clear calculation that they knew there were lies and they were repeating them and endorsing them.
It's important to you people admit what they said was wrong.
It's important to me. It's important to all the people whose families have been impacted by this. Anderson, my kids still are not allowed to get any package from the front door until we verify that it's actually from a trusted sender.
You're that concerned about somebody sending something to your house?
It's not unfounded concern.
People have done that.
People have done this. People are warning that they will continue to do this.
For John Poulos and his company, the trouble began 5 days after the election when Fox Business host Maria Bartiromo brought up Dominion with attorney Sidney Powell.
Sidney, we talked about the Dominion software. I know that there were voting irregularities. Tell me about that.
That's to put it mildly. The computer glitches could not and should not have happened at all. That is where the fraud took place, where they were flipping votes in the computer system or adding votes that did not exist.
Sidney Powell was never able to show fraud, but she was repeatedly
Unbelievable statements. Treason. These are treasonous statements. Okay. Can I not edit this tweet? Okay. I don't know why my obsessed keeps getting misspelled. Wait, hold on one sec. Jesus.
invited back on Fox networks, as was the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, who also wove a false narrative about Smartmatic, an election technology company which is now suing Giuliani, Fox News, and others.
Smartmatic is a company that was formed by three Venezuelans who were very close to the dictator Chavez of Venezuela, and it was formed in order to fix elections. That's the company that owns Dominion.
Does Smartmatic own Dominion?
No. We do have a relationship. We are competitors.
Were you associated with the late Hugo Chavez?
Absolutely not.
Do you use a Venezuelan company's software that's been used to steal election out of the countries?
Absolutely not. Anderson, I can cut all of this short. We were founded in Toronto, which is where my family was from, and there was nothing to do with Venezuela.
Can you flip votes in the computer system? Can you add votes that did not exist?
Absolutely not.
President Trump first mentioned Dominion in a tweet November 12th and recorded this video a few weeks later, which was posted on Facebook.
We have a company that's very suspect. Its name is Dominion. with the turn of a dial or the change of a chip,
What are these shitty green screen speeches? What the fuck?
you can press a button for Trump and the vote goes to Biden. What kind of a system is this? We have to go to paper. Maybe it takes longer, but the only secure system is paper.
Why not just have paper ballots?
We do have paper ballots. What the machines do is they count those paper ballots in a way that makes it very easy for people to verify after the fact through the means of audits and recounts.
Dominion makes two types of machines.
I believe, this is what I was saying before, I believe that, I think that every single electronic vote prints a paper ballot. I believe that was the case for 2020. I think so.
One is called a ballot marker. It's a touchscreen device that a voter can use to mark their choices and then print the ballot. The second machine is a scanner that reads that paper ballot, counts the vote, and immediately stores the ballot securely.
A voter takes a paper ballot. They've made their marks, however they make their marks, depending on the jurisdiction. As they deposit it into the ballot box, it goes through a digital scanner and then drops into the ballot box. So how do you hack a paper ballot? With our system,
He showed us how it works.
this is the scanner that sits atop a locked and sealed ballot box. This is how they cast their ballot. Goes through a scanner, and now we have an image of the ballot that we just cast, and we have the paper ballot that is used for recounts.
John Poulos says it was watching the presidential recounts in Florida in 2000, with those arguments over hanging chads, that got him interested in improving how paper ballots were marked and counted. He was an engineer working at a startup in Silicon Valley and began looking at ways to make it easier to recount paper ballots and to help people with disabilities vote without assistance.
Our goal was to allow any voter to make their marks on a paper ballot in a very clear, unambiguous way, regardless of physical ability.
John Poulos is Canadian and founded Dominion in 2002. He remains its chief executive, though it was acquired by an American investment group in 2018. Dominion is based in Denver. Do you ever think to yourself, I got into this to help paraplegics and blind people vote more easily? And look what happened?
I think about it all the time.
Dominion is one of 3 companies that make most of the voting systems in America.
Ironically, I feel like I looked into this a long time ago. The hanging chad issue in Florida, I think that was caused because they tried to make ballots that were more easily accessible to handicapped people. Like they had like a machine or a puncher or something, and that's why the hanging chads were happening, is because that was like the impetus for trying to create that that system that they were using that ended up like making the ballots harder to read, and then it got completely fucked. Yeah.
In the 2020 presidential election, their machines were in 28 states, red states and blue. On election day in a precinct, are your machines hooked up to the internet?
No, not by any stretch. We go through a number of certifications, government certifications, and the first one is at a federal level. So those standards mandate that election systems, such as ours, are designed to work in a closed system, air-gapped, no internet.
In all the major swing states of 2020, there are paper ballots backing up.
Not only are there paper ballots that make up the official record, those paper ballots have been hand counted and audited over 1,000 times on just the 2020 election.
Recounts and audits in the swing states of Georgia, Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Nevada all confirmed Dominion's results. More than 60 lawsuits around the country challenging the election by Trump or his supporters were ultimately withdrawn or failed. In Georgia, there have been 3 recounts, 2 electronic ones and 1 hand recount.
In front of cameras, bipartisan poll watchers, and thousands of local residents across the state of Georgia, and it once again reaffirmed the results. That should have put an end to all of it, but the lies persisted.
And so have incidents of harassment and threats against John Poulos and his employees.
Every single person at Dominion's going to end up in an orange jumpsuit in handcuffs. You whores, you cheating pigs.
Yeah, good afternoon, scumbags. We're going to blow your building up, piece of shit.
I don't wish to...
Oh shit, are we reading Are we reading DMs now?
sit here and say that this is something that happened 18 months ago. This is something that continues to happen every single day for us. Last Friday, we had an office on lockdown. 2 days prior to that, I was on a phone call with one of our employees, who's a mother of two, very upset and crying. It's hard to talk about.
Had something been said to her personally?
Notice how they're not actually talking about the real issue here, okay? That they've just glossed over a few times, okay? And that's that this motherfucker is Canadian, all right? Why are you making machines? Also, why would you name your company Dominion, okay? It's like naming yourself like the bad guy. And it's like, wow, people think you're a bad guy. No shit.
A very disgusting death threat in detail.
Received
on her personal cell phone.
It's completely and utterly surreal. None of these lies have been substantiated to any extent. Every single one of them has been debunked.
Chris Krebs was director of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, charged with protecting the 2020 election. He called it the most secure election in American history, and days later was fired by President Trump. He now has a cyber consulting firm and is a contributor for CBS News. We showed him a press conference held 2 days after his firing at the headquarters of the Republican National Committee, when Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and others continued their attacks on Dominion machines and software.
It can set and run an algorithm that probably ran all over the country to take a certain percentage of votes.
There is as we've moved through time, there are like words that when people say them, it should always set off like the sussy baka flags, okay? 15 years ago, that term was cloud computing. Anytime somebody said cloud computing, they were about to say the dumbest shit you've ever heard in your life. 10 years ago, no, not 10 years ago. When did all the crypto craze start? Blockchain was a huge thing for a while. And then it was algorithms, and now it's AI. Anytime somebody says like there's like the buzzword, the tech buzzwords of the moment. And anytime somebody says it, you're about to hear the dumbest shit you've ever heard your entire life. Destiny, help my political twittering. How would you reply to someone saying the reduction in violent crime under Biden is due to underreporting from police in certain cities since 2021? Love you. I've never heard that in my life. They would have to prove that. That's a positive claim, no? Usually violent crime reports are done with victimization surveys, which don't rely on the police, no?
It's from President Trump and flipped them to President Biden.
Do you remember watching that?
Yeah, I tweeted about it immediately.
Oh, do you remember watching that? He did watch the votes get flipped. Got him. They should have cut it right here.
Them to President Biden.
Do you remember watching that?
Yeah, I tweeted about it immediately afterwards. I think I said something along the lines of that was the most insane and dangerous 45 minutes of TV in, American history, effectively.
How secure was the 2020 election?
Let me put it this way. It was the most litigated. It was the most scrutinized. It was the most audited. This election was put through the ringer from so many different directions. And what I tend to like to say is, don't listen to me. Listen to Bill Barr. Bill Barr said it. He was then the
Bill Barr, the FBI, the 50-plus court cases from just the Trump campaign, all of the independent investigations, all of the, right?
Attorney General of the United States.
This is what Bill Barr later said to the January 6th committee.
These claims on the Dominion voting machines, and they were idiotic claims. I saw absolutely zero basis for the allegation.
This guy was the biggest Trump simp in the world, too. Like, remember, we read that New Yorker piece. What was it called? The Sword and Shield of Donald Trump? Oh, William Barr, Trump's Sword and Shield. The Attorney General's mission to maximize executive power and protect the presidency in 2020. Who would have known it could have all turned out so wrong?
But they were made in such a sensational way that they obviously were influenced.
Yeah, but I did not expect Barr to have principles. I could be wrong, and I am totally like reading with no proof. It's just like a vibe that I get from him, and I don't know him. Well, I don't know him at all. The vibe I get from Barr wasn't that he had a principled objection to what Trump was doing. It's that he was so fed up with how unfathomably fucking retarded Trump was. He was just like over it. That's the feeling. I could be totally wrong. Maybe he does have principles for democracy, but like when I hear him talk about like everything related to this, he just seems like this is like so fucking stupid. That's what it, yeah. But maybe he might have like strong legal principles or whatever. I haven't read anything that he's written about any of the stuff that he's looked into or anything. So, or I did read when he talked about the FBI going over the Dominion voting machine and everything else. So, yeah, but.
Idiotic claims. I saw absolutely zero basis for the allegations, but they were made in such a sensational way that they obviously were influencing a lot of people.
Dominion began alerting Fox News and other networks of the false allegations they were broadcasting November 12th, 4 days after Sidney Powell first discussed Dominion with Maria Bartiromo. But Dominion says Fox News never retracted their reporting.
You gave them a lot of chances to correct their statements.
They still haven't corrected them.
To me, that's the most powerful part of the complaint.
I wonder what is Dominion's revenue? That's got to be an awesome payday, right? $800 million. But maybe they have like their revenues in the billion. They can't sell that many. It's voting machines, no? It's not a publicly traded company, so we can't find the information, can we? Dominion voting machines yearly revenue. There's no way, right? Zippia. Dominion voting systems received $120 million from 19 states and 133 governments to provide election services for over 2 or 3 years. $120 million. Damn, that's a big payday then. Holy shit.
Levine is a First Amendment attorney who's litigated cases for 40 years on behalf of most media companies, including CBS and Fox. He's retired now, but his old firm is currently representing CNN and me in a separate matter, filed by attorneys who also represent Dominion in its cases against Fox News and others.
Take the Fox case, for example. November 12th seems to me to be the key date in that case, because that's the day that Dominion started on a regular basis sending information sheets to every producer on every show at Fox that was having Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani on, saying, here are the true facts. Here are links supporting our assertions that these are the true facts. And then these people continued to invite Giuliani and Powell on their shows.
Defamation cases are hard to prove, aren't they?
Yes.
For against public figures, they're very hard to prove.
They are. The plaintiff has to prove what the law calls actual malice. You need to show basically that the defendant published or broadcast a deliberate lie, a calculated falsehood.
They knew it was a lie when they broadcast it.
They knew it was a lie, or they knew it was probably a lie.
How strong is Dominion's case against Fox and the others?
I think it is much stronger than most defamation cases that I have seen.
Oof.
I might say it is the strongest.
How many defamation cases have you seen?
I have litigated myself hundreds, and I'm certainly aware of every significant defamation case in the last 40 years.
And this is the strongest one?
In my judgment.
In a statement to 60 Minutes, Fox said it's confident it will prevail, citing freedom of the press protections, and stating it was reporting on a newsworthy allegation made by the then president and aired segments fact-checking the allegations against Dominion. Dominion is suing Fox News and its parent corporation for $1.6 billion each, and in its statement, Fox said that Dominion's financial demand is unsupported. Efforts by Fox News and other defendants to have the lawsuits dismissed have been rejected by the courts.
Do you think that you can show not only that they lied, but they knew that they were lying?
I think that's the easiest part.
You, as a company, told them specifically, repeatedly.
We told them. We told them in real time. Others told them. Government officials told them. Partisan government officials told them. People inside the Trump administration told them. Local election officials on both sides of the aisle told them. This is not a matter of not knowing the truth.
Actually, sir, have you heard of conservative lawyers that say on YouTube that you actually can't possibly know what somebody's thinking, though? How do you know that he was lying? How can you ever know what's in somebody's head? Actually.
They knew the truth.
Safeguarding vote by mail.
It's impossible to now think that there's widespread fraud in it.
At 60
I don't know who that guy is, but I don't trust him. Where have I seen this guy before?
Vote by mail.
It's impossible.
Why do I...
to now think that there's
Who does this guy look like? I'm getting vibes in the library of my mind. Who does he look like? Wait, is this guy real? Are we looking at a deep... I'm just kidding. Oh, Lex Friedman! True! Holy shit. Long lost brothers. Abso-fucking-lutely. Oh my god.